Hello, welcome to water. I hope you can hear me. If you can't, then possibly I'll be able to troubleshoot during the next live or trial with a headset because that is, well, the headset is slightly, it's a new configuration for me, but hopefully uh, it adds clarity to uh, the poses that I recommend. So that's, I guess, just where I hope we'll start is the intention for the class, and that is that it's going to be very laid back in regards to if you're not feeling a move or a pose, definitely don't go into it. I'll highly encourage modifications, um, and I'll do my best to remind you throughout the practice, but it's really important that you're just at your mat or that you're taking the time to tend to your wellness and your health. And we'll be doing it through the element of water, just in kind of bringing that to the practice. However, it's going to be really important that you just do you during the sequence. So we're going to get started with some twisting, and that is because uh, I'm noticing that throughout the day. So finding sukhasana, but twisting so that we're moving in directions that uh, we're not typically moving in, because or I guess maybe it's often that when we're doing tasks, we're like facing the task forward instead of moving with our torso only, that I don't know. It could be different for many careers, but the thought is that we're going to start twisting and doing a lot of movement, not necessarily anything that is vinyasa. That's not really what the practice will be. So might be mostly seated. We'll probably do some standing, but just a lot of movement and just like often. And that I think is going to help us uh, flow like water. Sure. So finding Sukhasana and come with your intention or find your intention. And we'll go ahead and take a twist over to one side. And then center, second side, center, and repeat, twist again, center, and second side, center, and repeat, twisting, relaxing the shoulders, center, to the second side, and center. We'll take a side body stretch by lifting either the left or the right arm and not necessarily leaning over to the opposite side, which the opposite side of the raised arm. So mostly lifting up to open up underneath of the ribs, between the ribs. Tilt forward and up the pelvis. And so option to look up or down, but emphasis on lengthening the spine. And we'll center. Shake it out a bit. We'll stretch or open the second side body. Shoulders will want to creep up to the ears, so just roll them down the back body. And center. We'll face the short edge of the mat, whether that is at your left or right. And remember or focus at, we'll lift tall with the palms above the crown. Tilt the pelvis forwards and up. And fold forward over the calves. Tuck the chin. So option 2, stack the fists here. Rest on the palms, on the forearms. You can walk the palms out forwards. You could even facilitate an extension of our side body opening by walking the palms over to one side and then to the other. From your navel center is where you'll activate to lift back upright, and we'll come to vertical alignment of the torso with the palms above the head. Roll back onto the pelvis, so at the tailbone, and lift the heels up, uncrossing the shins. Bring the heels forward. The shins or the calves are at a hover that is parallel with the surface that you're practicing on. And so we are in Navasana or boat pose. You can bring the palms forwards, heart center, maybe up past the crown. And we'll take some more twisting here and alternating in the direction that we twist by meeting that knee, and the opposite leg will extend. So when we're twisting over to the right, our right knee is going to come into our chest, and our left heel is going to push forwards, straightening the left hamstring. We'll center back to Navasana, and then second side. Relax the shoulders, slightly tuck the chin, center Navasana boat pose, and twist once more. Center Navasana. And technically we're not twisting again, we are to the second side of that last twist. But that could have been confusing. And we'll find boat at center again. Slowly approach Sukhasana. With the opposite placement of, or the opposite order of the shins. So if the left was in front previously, we'll bring the left closer. We will bring the palms up past the crown of the head again, tuck the chin, aerate the spine before tilting forwards and finding a second forward fold. Engage the navel to bring back upright. And so that's going to be a flow that we'll repeat. However, we might do a bit more movement during the next set of forward folds. So find Navasana, leaning back on the tailbone, lifting the heels, calves parallel with the earth. Twist over to the right or the left. Extend to the opposite leg. Relax the shoulders. And Navasana at center. Even the twist by facing the second side. I'm taking some movement with the ankles. So whatever movements that you need, come back through to center in the poses to keep fluid are highly encouraged. And we will approach again Sukhasana, opposite rotation of the shins from the previous Sukhasana. And palms up past the crown of the head. This time, let's open up the side bodies before we forward fold. So just bring one of the palms to either its respective knee or the earth, and we'll lift and lengthen through that opposite side with most of the intention upwards. So not necessarily bending towards one side or the other, but lifting up. So the glutes are slightly active and the pelvis is actively lifting upwards. And center. Now we'll take an open twist over to the left or the right. Center. So that opposite side will be opening as we reach one of the palms up. And center. And even out by opening into a twist on the second side. Center. Approaching Navasana. Open towards the left or the right. Hugging the knee inwards. Extending the opposite leg. Navasana. Neutral. Even out with the second side. Neutral Navasana. Sukhasana. Palms up past the crown of the head. Open twist over to one side and spread the palms out past the extended arms. So one palm is pointing towards the back of your positioning, and one palm is pointing towards the front of the direction that your lower body is facing. Both palms now up past the crown of the head and center. Before we go to the second side, let's drop the palms, coming into a reverse tabletop. So uncross the shins. I'm going to center myself on the mat, and we'll bring our heels about hip width distance apart. And so the fingertips are, the tops of the hands are facing upwards, and the fingertips are closest to the pelvis. Definitely micro bend the elbows when we come and lift our thighs to parallel with the earth and our torso in line with our thighs. You should feel this opening in the fronts of the biceps. We'll meet back in Sukhasana when you're ready. Palms up past the crown of the head. Open arms in the twist to the second side. Palms up. Center. And let's just forward fold once more. This time, let's undulate. So we snake the spine up and down, sort of lifting and lowering, but allowing the spine to guide. So not necessarily controlling the upper half of the body, but grounding through the pelvis and the glutes. And next time you're upright, lift the palms again. There's a opening up of the underarms is a, I'm not sure of the, we'll go ahead and lower the arms. And we'll come on to, let's do some, we'll do a standing pose or so. But there's, it's a stress, it relieves stress to open up under the arms. So like raising the arms or coming into a forward fold, which is, let's go there next. But there's some technicality to what is provided by opening up underneath of the arms. I think it's a lymph node. So possibly it's like a deep breath for underneath of the armpits or the armpits. We'll bring the palms again up past the crown of the head. Heels just underneath of the hip bones. Micro bend the knees and forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. So a flat spine is parallel with the surface we're practicing on. And exhale to forward fold with a micro bend in the knees. Inhale to Tadasana, standing pose with the palms up past the crown of the head. Palms meet at the sides. Shake it out. Coming back to that fluidity that we're practicing for the next 30 minutes or so. So it's okay to not have stillness during this practice at this time. Inhale with the palms up past the crown of the head. Maybe lift the chin. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Tadasana. Palms at the heart. Palms up, arms lengthen. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Tadasana. Anjali Mudra. Palms up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Tadasana. Mountain pose. Anjali Mudra. From Tadasana, let's do an open arm twist, just as we did in Sukhasana, where one palm is towards the front, one palm is towards the back. Micro bend the knees. Inhale through center. We'll forward fold before we even out at the second side. Find Tadasana and Anjali Mudra. Second side, opening the arms wide. Center. Anjali Mudra. Let's do some seated opening of the inner thighs. So come to sit at about the center of the mat if you're on a yoga mat. We're going to extend one of the legs out long, bring the heel and the sole of the opposite leg at the inner thigh of the extended leg. Point the toes of the extended leg towards your torso. Bring the palms up past the crown of the head and face the toes that are pointing towards you. We'll micro-bend the extended leg. Lean the torso and most importantly, the heart towards the extended leg. And begin to drop the palms and fold forward. You can bring the forehead to the knee. And we'll undulate here by allowing the spine to gently move in fluidity. Lowering and lifting, and the crown will be the extension of the spine. The next time the torso is upright, let's twist towards the opposite leg. So the leg which has the sole that is planted at the inner thigh. And in this pose, relax the lower back body. So we've got our pelvis tilting upwards. However, there's a bit more ease in this twist so that we can relax tension. Bring the palms up past the crown of the head as you center, and then facing the extended leg again, we'll repeat our undulation. If that may be a term, I'm not sure at this time, but the way to describe it is the fluidity of the spine in lieu of stillness at the folding or at the aeration of the back body. So we're letting it breathe in lieu of just releasing it. Find upright and Sukhasana. Before we even out at the second side, we'll take some more twisting. Bring the palms up past the crown of the head. We'll yogi's choice for yogi is always yogi's choice. However, in this example, we might do the arms extended as we open up towards one side. Maybe we find the palms meet at heart center, but whatever is feeling best. And we'll find upright or forward facing and even out at the second side. Inhale through center. Palms at the heart. We'll extend our second leg. face the toes face the torso. And we'll approach a forward fold with movement. Otherwise, if it feels great to remain in the forward fold, please do so. And approach upright. Palms up, arms long. Twisting to the opposite side of the extended leg. Center and palms up. And Sukhasana. Thumbs to the arches or the soles. And to Tadasana. Palms up, forward fold. This time lingering at the forward fold and lengthening one of the legs as the opposite leg is bending into the knee slightly or moderately. And then rotating as necessary. Tadasana. Palms up past the crown. Lift and lengthen to one side. Centering into forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Tadasana. Palms up. Opening the second side body. center to forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Tadasana. Anjali Mudra. Palms behind the head. In lieu of stillness at opening one of the side bodies, I'm going to turn to face the side. Not sure if that will help understand how we'll move and we'll operate at the next movement. However, it could help. So we're going to, instead of open the side body by leaning to one side, we'll do that, but we'll also create a movement. So like we're taking our palms and drawing a circle at the top of the space that we're practicing in, or the ceiling, or the sky. So very grounded in the soles, and the knees are micro bent, and just creating all of this opening at a 360 capacity. So at all aspects of the, at all aspects of the, I just took a forward fold. If that feels good in your practice, please do so, because that felt really good. But the movement was mostly like a 360 opening of the torso in lieu of just, underneath of like each side. So we'll take that once more in the opposite direction. If you're still in the pose, then go ahead and switch whenever. I'll bring the palms up past the head and create that movement in the second direction. So it doesn't feel so bad to, we'll find a forward fold. It didn't feel so bad to do the hips though. So if that's something that you'll move forwards with, then moving the hips with it was fine. It was just really emphasizing that the knees need to be protected when moving the upper body. And so grounding through the soles is going to help with that foundation to create movements that are going to remove the tension or stress that we hold. So whether you want to find a Tadasana after this forward fold, or maybe a combination of poses to sort of recenter, is up to you. We will meet in Sukhasana. Face the short edge of the mat. Shrug the shoulders up and down. Being with the breath, you can close the eyelids. And we'll be together in meditation for several minutes. Maybe attempting for stillness or allowing the movement to be from a deep belly breath just being the watcher of thoughts. Jala Mudra is likely the smallest finger with the opposable thumb. It is water. So when I think of water, I think of moving as often and as necessary. and how it can be a really admirable trait or characteristic of a human being. Please make your way back to your intention. The thumbs meet. Be well.